Hey, if you believe in Jesus, you will have eternal life. Michael Rivalsky here again with the Holy Bible King James Version with the Old and New Testaments. Here to show off my beautiful new idea. This is day 3 of me working on this log cabin. I'll try to run it by you quick. These are all 8 feet long on each side. And then I cut, this was 8 feet too, and I just cut it into 3 parts. And that was 2 feet and 7 inches, and then 7 whatever tenths of an inch, I guess. Even though that's not how they really measure that stuff on a measuring stick. And then the poles are 6 feet roughly. And then I used some cotton twine, kind of hold them together. I put points on them using my survival knife. This worked pretty good. Basically, I took the knife, and then you can prop it up. Like I propped mine up. I propped my poles up like right here, and then I was holding it. I got a bunch of shavings on the ground there, and then I could actually watch where you're doing it and just turn the pole and just kind of hit it, turn the pole, hit it, or whatever. Went pretty quick. I got 12 poles done. I think it was about 12 poles in an hour. And yesterday, the way I did it, it took a lot longer. Some of these are kind of big. Actually, I have a measuring stick here somewhere. Where did I put the measuring stick? Lord, what have I done? Oh, here it is. All right. I could show you here, like this tree, that was 4 inches, basically, about 4 inches. I used my multi-tool here. It has this is from the Ozark Trail. It has a fish scaler right here, and then the fish scaler has a ruler on there, but it goes over 2 inches in the end. So I'll just watch, if you ever try with this, you watch that. But yeah, Lord willing, whatever. So then I put like a foot long mark there, and then I marked off all my inches. And then use twine, like I said. I think I mentioned that already. Tie them together, and the points that helped me to drive it in the ground. In fact, I even used the smallest pole I had, which I think is back here. It had such a thin, narrow point on it. I just went around and pre-pounded the holes, or maybe it's this one. Might be this one. I don't remember which one. I don't remember which one. So yeah, that's a pretty cool idea, huh? I think it's pretty cool. Oh, and then the other idea is, the whole point of this is I want to make it a winter cabin. And after I get this built up, Lord willing, I put a beam going across here, which means I might have to bend over a little bit to get into it, but it'll be better than this. I gotta like crawl into that. Well, I don't have to, but it's pretty much that's how it's been. But and Lord willing, on the bending over thing, it all works out. And this is where I'd like to have my fire pit. I'd like to make it like a Dakota fire pit whole thing. And what that is, that I've seen, is you dig a hole for your fire pit, and then a channel going under the ground, sort of kind of like underground. And what I thought is I'd maybe use some like cans of ravioli, or maybe something bigger, cans of baked beans or whatever I could find, some big cans, and just make a little tunnel. After I dig the ground out, put the cans in, and then just bury it, and have a little spot here where the air can come in, Lord willing, and feed the fire. Hopefully that'll work out, Lord willing. Notice I gave myself a little A+ on this already. I even asked God if I should do this, and he basically gave me the yes response. So the roof, if you're wondering, with the smoke, same thing. I could use cans to make a chimney, or the way I'd like to make the roof, probably either way, I'd probably like to do it like this. Have one side of the roof kind of come over the other side. So like, you know what I'm saying? And leave a gap in there, and then that would let the smoke come out, and probably wouldn't even need a chimney, Lord willing. I don't know. See how it works. And then I'd like to put my bed over here, and maybe even cut out a window, and maybe even make a door. I've been watching this guy. It's a Corporal's Corner, and I just thank him for what he's done. When I was walking across Ohio, because I walked to Ohio from Florida in 2019, giving out Bibles from the Dollar Tree and preaching the gospel to just about everybody I met. And I also, after I got done, I walked to Indianapolis. I was going to try to walk down around the mountains and back to Florida, but I didn't make it. It got so cold. And at one point, I left my stuff behind, and I stopped at a library, and I was looking up how to make, like shelters in the woods, just like if you had nothing, basically, I figured whatever, I might try to learn a little something. And I came across this video. It was Alone in the Woods, and he built a wall, basically a firewall. He had a fire pit, and he had a long fire pit, so that way you have and he dug it in the ground, and you could put all these logs on it. It would get all these coals eventually, and that's what I did. I did a couple times like that, or at least once. And then you could use this kind of setup to build a heat reflector or a firewall or whatever you want to call it, just something to reflect the heat back. So, and this was the design that he used, and I didn't see anybody else do this. Put a few poles in the ground, and then and of course he didn't make it this long. As far as I remember, his was a little shorter, but he did make these heat reflectors and these walls basically, and that gave me this idea pretty much. So thank you there, Corporal Sean Kelly. I guess that's how you say it. At any rate, I've been trying to get people's attention with the gospel. I'm hoping that people would maybe be interested in even printing these. These have been printed in China. It'd be amazing if some people would band together. I'd be happy to help to print these in the United States, and basically just take this version. You could copy it somehow, and I did notice that sometimes I thought maybe there might be a typo or two, but who am I to judge this? So I don't know if that's really what happened, but it'd be amazing, to print these out. You can go around with one of these from the Dollar Tree, Lord willing. Tell everybody you meet about Jesus. You could check your local Dollar Tree, see if they have them. Again, Lord willing, and if they do, you could buy them up and give them out for free. I've done this repeatedly, all the way from Florida to Ohio and all the way to Indianapolis, and ever since I've been checking Dollar Trees almost on a daily basis, and it could help a lot of people giving out Holy Bibles from the Dollar Tree. I think that's one of the best ideas that there is right now. The only problem is, I think I mentioned this before, there's only a limited number of Dollar Trees. As far as I know, it was reported that there was around 14,000 of them, and if they all had 40 Bibles, that might come out to around, I don't know, 500,000 Bibles. It's not enough to cover the whole United States population. So just an idea. Whoops, kicked my knife over. So that's pretty much it. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. I guess I could show off this in comparison to my other shelter too. Here's my shelter here with my tent, and there's how big that is, so you get an idea of what it looks like. And the nice thing about this protects me from the sun and the rain. This is going to hopefully it protect me from the cold, Lord willing. Another nice thing about the winter time that I didn't mention is unlike summertime, when it's really good to have something to protect you from the bugs, highly recommend some kind of mosquito netting in the summertime. It's my recommendation. I've seen people go without it. It's on you. But down here in Florida, you've got all kinds of mosquitoes, bugs, big giant spiders, like that one that Bruce Willis ate in the 12 Monkey movie. Exact same spiders. I saw some huge ones back here. And I even had one on my arm today, and I literally, I didn't even know it was there until I looked over, and it was on my shoulder, and I saw it crawling like right here on my shoulder, and I was like, ah! I mean, I let out a real scream for a moment. It was just funny. I was laughing afterwards because it was like this big, huge tarantula-looking thing on my shoulder, and I didn't even know it was there. But at any rate, that's just the kind of fun I've been having out here. But that's pretty much it. I think I mentioned everything. Nice thing about the winter time, though, is there hasn't been a lot of bugs. I remember sleeping here in this very spot when I had my other tent. I had a hiker tent, which again, I don't recommend those, from the Ozark Trail. This one's from Ozark Trail too. This is a 7x7 tent. It's real. I've used many of these, and you can even. I just recently learned. I got mildew on some of my other ones. I could have used vinegar or something to kill the mildew. I actually did do a little bit of a mildew spread on some little spots that I saw, just to kill off some mildew, which has also been a big deal with having a tent. But yeah, and then that's another thing with these kind of shelters like this one. If I had this thing during the summertime set up, I mean, it might not be a bad idea to take the roof off. I don't know how much mildew would eventually get in there or whatever. I mean, I could wash it with bleach or something, Lord willing. Lord willing on all that stuff. I don't know what to expect because I've never done this before, but I thought maybe during the summertime, like next summer, Lord willing, I could just take the roof off, and that way hopefully there's not all this moisture building up in there or whatever. I don't know. I don't even know if I would need to do that. We'll see. It's gonna be a long time before then, Lord willing. So that's pretty much it. Been using this little saw for all this, little tiny fold-out saw here, and open it up to show you. I got this from the what was it, Harbor Freight. Ow! Tried to flip it open. There we go. Right there. You can see it's all right. It's not bad. I mean, I've done some sawing with a saw that was kind of curved a little bit and longer with a nice little wood handle on it. This one doesn't really have much of a curve, but I think it's still pretty good. I like it. It's compact. Nice thing is I can keep it right here. And, I never really felt like it was a bad idea to keep it with me. I think it's good. I've carried this around on a regular basis, and usually I've been able to get it in there. I think with two hands might be a little easier, Lord willing. But yeah, try to keep it right there. These pants are from Walmart, if I didn't mention that, $20. They're cargo pants, a Wrangler. Pretty nice. I've had several pairs of these. But that's pretty much it. I think I pretty much covered just about everything I wanted to cover. So, again, it's good to preach the word and give Bibles out from Dollar Trees. I even met somebody, he said this was really good. The manager's husband at the Dollar Tree here in Lake City, there's a new manager. The old manager left. And so there's a new manager, and her husband told me the other day that they checked all kinds of Dollar Trees around because they were trying to give some out for some reason, and they were having trouble finding them and around the area. So I don't know if that means that me telling all these people has actually been getting the word of mouth has actually spread, but that would be really good. I've been trying to tell people all the time about this, pretty much all the time, so it might be the case. So you could do the same thing and it could help a lot of people. So all right, that's pretty much it. Hope you all have a blessed one.